The meeting to order. Please rise for the flag salute.
First. You want to do the roll call?
Yeah, I better do that first. Sorry about that. Sorry. We'll do a roll call real quick. Let's see. Counselor Uppelman?
Present.
Counselor Hutchison?
Present.
Counselor Jungman?
Present.
Counselor Merritt?
Present.
And Counselor Papke, did he make it on? All right, and myself, I'm present. So the only person we're missing is Counselor Papke.
I'm here too.
Oh, Counselor Law.
Yeah, Law, yeah. I was at
Completely passed right over you. Sorry. So, all right, we're missing Counselor Papke.
Yeah.
All right, please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
and
to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Mr. Manager, do we have any additions to the agenda?
Thank you, Mayor. We have one change. Item number 4, railroad update. Matt would like to, and I agree, would like to move that out as we've got some meetings coming up this week that will change that update, we hope. So no railroad update tonight. Item 4. That's it.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Has everybody had a chance to read or look at the consent agenda? And if so, I'm open to a motion to approve.
This is Patricia Youngman. I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second that. This is Steve Uffelman.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, I'll go to a roll call vote. Counselor Uffelman?
Aye.
Counselor Hutchison?
Aye.
Counselor Youngman?
Aye.
Counselor Merritt?
Aye.
Counselor Law?
Aye.
And the mayor votes aye. And Counselor Papke, are you here yet? Nope, so Counselor Papke's absent, so it passes unanimously. Okay, we'll move on to visitors, appearances, and requests. We have Kirk County High School CTE update from Dr. Sarah Johnson.
Good evening. Thank you for letting us come to the City Council meeting tonight. And we know that Kirk County and Prineville embrace career technical ed. So we thought it would be of great interest to you to give you an update. When I first came here nearly 3 years ago, one of the things that was clear was that we should highlight CTE and the impact that it could make on students in our region. So we have done that, and we've made some incredible growth over the last 3 years. And so I introduced to you tonight our high school principal, Michelle Jonas, and our CTE director, Ryan Cochran. And Ryan and Michelle are going to deliver the message. I just wanted to thank you for letting us be here and present tonight.
Thank you for being here.
Perfect. I don't know if is there a way I can share my screen with there?
James?
Unfortunately, due to closed meeting laws, we cannot do that. We have to have it in our possession.
Perfect. Just a few things. First of all, thank you guys for letting us just take a few seconds and kind of share what's going on at Kirk County High School. February is CTE month, so it's a chance for us to kind of show exactly what's happening, what's going on in our programs. For I think it was about a year ago, we met with city council and kind of just laid out some of the things that we were hoping to do. One of the things that we're really proud of is that our career and technical education program, we have now 9 full programs of study. They are in agricultural science, business, computer science and robotics, culinary, graphic design, health science, manufacturing, and natural resources. And so that's our 8. The really awesome thing that we're super excited about is we are adding our 9th program of study, which is in the construction building skills trade. And that is we actually hired a teacher this last week on Monday. And we're going to be able to 4th quarter get that up and rolling. We're going to have 4 full periods of that. One of the reasons we're really excited about the construction trades is that we're going to be able to have NCCER certification that allows us to certify our kids in 20 different areas. And those areas are a wide range from blueprints to cabinetry to concrete, drywall, electrical, plumbing, finished carpentry, even some HVAC. One of the cool new modules in our construction is dealing with alternative energies, being able to use solar and those skills. So our kids will be able to come out of that program with certificates, and those are national certificates. They can go anywhere in the country with those, and that will obviously help them be able to get high-paying jobs, but also get into other trade schools. And so it's that stepping stone. NCCER is National Center for Construction Education and Research. It's the basically how, especially at the high school level, we get students to be able to be certified. And so that's a really big advantage for us. We took a lot of surveys, and that was one of the biggest needs, not only for our community, but for also our students. And so we're extremely excited to bring that to Kirk County High School and get that starting as next quarter. So April, we'll have a full schedule of those classes available. One of the things that obviously, as you guys all know, this year has been an extremely weird year, challenging year, but for CTE at Kirk County High School, the really awesome thing is that it's still building, it's still growing. We have a lot of kids extremely interested in going into these pathways, and so for us, it's, even though it's a year of constant turbulence in school, our CTE classes are growing, and that's exciting news for our kids. Just want to highlight a few, since you guys can't see my PowerPoint, but our computer science program at Kirk County High School is exploding. We were fortunate enough to become a pilot program for the Oregon Department of Education in computer science. There is 2 of them in the state, and we were one of them, that allows our kids to take computer science lessons and classes from a COCC instructor, with the help of our computer science instructor. And we have established a what's called 101 and 201. And then next year, we are going to be, the next step in the pilot program is to offer a 301. So students will be able to come out of our computer science with certifications that they can go straight from there into industry and be able to get really high paying jobs. And so to be on the ground floor of basically all of the blueprint of how they're going to run computer science programs in the state, we feel very fortunate in that, and we were glad to be able to provide that for our students. So that's an awesome, exciting area that's happening. Culinary is our culinary classes are just ramping up. They're some really cool things. Our culinary competition team placed 4th in the entire state last year, right before the COVID shutdown. They're still building on it. We obviously, every year we get new kids into that competition team, but it's opened up. We've got, with some awesome support from Facebook, we were able to bring in brand new bread ovens, which is been able to get a complete new path for those kids working in bakery and those things. So it's opened up a lot of new labs inside of our culinary class. Robotics. Robotics is one of our fastest growing classes in Kirk County High School. We opened this up in the spring of last year when things were kind of shutting down in class, but virtually. And we now have a robotics 1, 2, and 3. And our classes are full in those robotics classes. One of the other really cool things is with help and support from our community members and Facebook, we're breaking our robotics down into our elementary schools and our middle schools. And we're expanding those in those areas. So it's becoming a thing that's Kirk County is known for, is our robotics, which is awesome. And so that's really developing. Our business classes, well, we hired a brand new teacher. Our old business teacher retired, and Kim Krofchek is our new teacher that is expanding that program, really working into the small business marketing aspects. You're going to hear in a few minutes from a couple of our students that have taken some business classes and those types of things, but that is really, really expanding. Couple other ones. Our ag science continues to be a huge favorite of students from our rural area. It's our number one class of most offerings. Our kids are getting about 16 college credits inside of our ag science. So that is awesome news for our kids. It's also continues to be a leader in our FFA area. In fact, tomorrow, 5 of our FFA members are the applicants for the Oregon FFA state degree, which is the highest ranking inside of our FFA. So that program is growing a lot. Our natural resources that we brought in a few years ago is also expanding, which is really good to see. Those students are getting to some unbelievable experiences inside of Kirk County. We are very blessed to live in an area with the Ochoco Mountains and our wetlands that are here. In fact, our natural resources class tomorrow has a field trip to the wetlands. And so they're going to go out there and do some experiments and do some data off. The last thing I wanted to just highlight is inside of our classes is the CTE classes that we have opened up at our middle school. One of the things that we saw in our program is that we needed to get some interest at lower levels. And we have started that with robotics at elementary and middle school. And we were able to bring in what's called Paxton Patterson College and Career Ready Labs. And they are hands-on activities that give students a taste of that profession. And all of these are hands-on labs that they're building things, creating things. And it's pretty exciting to see and go down there. We just opened that up in Q2. They got the first aspect of that. And already kids are loving that class. They're coming out with lots of outcomes. And it's really, our goal was to shape those CT classes at the middle school so they match up with our high school. So there's some awesome things happening at our middle school there. The one thing that I'll kind of finish with before I turn it over to some of our students is we encourage you guys, if you get a chance, is we created a brand new website that has all things that are dealing with Kirk County CTE, and it is kirkcountycte.org. And that is a brand new website that we are that's our central point for everything CTE. So if you go there, you're going to see our different programs. You're going to see a brief description of all of our instructors. You're going to see the really cool projects that our students are working at, both at the high school and the middle school. And it also gives a feed for us to constantly update and show pictures off and social media feeds of all those things that are happening. So it's a way of just for us to communicate with all of our community members and show the great things that our students are actually working on. Before I introduce our students, Dr. Johnson, Michelle, do you have anything to add there?
You did a great job on the fly, not being able to use your PowerPoint, because the one thing about CTE that just sells itself is you getting to see the projects that the students do. So just the hands-on nature of the classes that help tie students to the career field. So Ryan, thank you for being able to be flexible, and maybe we can get you guys some pictures or get you out to the building soon so you can see the cool projects the kids are working on.
Hearing the kids talk about it will be, that'll be good though, so.
Absolutely, and on that website, you guys can see a bunch of those pictures and some of the projects that I had in our PowerPoint. But I think the biggest impact is honestly why we're all here. CTE is so impactful for students. That's that hands-on learning. It's being able to take applications that they may learn in some of our core classes and actually put them to being able to use them in real life and get those industry skills so that they're more ready for either college or their career. And so instead of us talking about it all the time, we invited two of our students that are in our CTE classes. We have Mccall Woodward and Garrett Cobb. I'll first is Mccall on here?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Hey, there she is. Awesome. I want to introduce you to Mccall. She is in our computer science program. And so she's just going to take a couple minutes and tell you all about it.
Yeah, hi, I'm Mccall Woodward, and I'm a junior at Kirk County High School this year. And I'm currently taking Advanced Computer Science, or Code 201. I really just took this class because a teacher came up to me and said, hey, would you be interested in taking this class? And I thought, why not? And I like this class because I think it opens my eyes a little bit more, because taking this class has really kind of I guess let me realize how many opportunities there are in computer science, especially for women in computer science. Before taking this class, I really didn't know much about what I would want to do, after high school and going into college. But even just being in this class for a few months now, I kind of realized that going into the computer science field would be a really cool option. Because already being in this class for just a few months, I've learned so much. And one of my favorite things about this class is how the teachers kind of connect what we're doing and let us know the different job opportunities in the computer technology field. There's so much out there, and I think that's my favorite part, is just realizing how this can really affect my future and give me so much opportunity even before I get to college. Really, we just learned about the different computer languages and like how to build websites, the same websites that we use on our iPhones every day or on our computers every day. And that's I think the best part, because we're really doing hands-on stuff and creating kind of whatever we want in a sense, because it's our own work. And so I think that's my favorite part. Having the ability to take this course and have it available at the high school has been really cool, because like I said before, this did kind of change my plans, because I didn't know really what I was going to do after high school. But after taking this class, I'm really considering going into the computer science field. And so I think that's the best part of it. And yeah, I think that's about it. And thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you for presenting. That's an awesome story. These classes are awesome for you guys.
We got one more student that I want to introduce to you guys, and his name is Garrett Cobb. And one of the interesting stories that Garrett has is he's actually going through that explore phase, and he is taken actually 3 different programs of study. He's been in natural resources, he's been in business, he's also taken quite a few classes in ag science. And so he's in that area where he's exploring different options. And so maybe we'll see if he can get on there. Garrett, are you here? Hey, there he is. Perfect. I'll turn it over to you, Garrett.
Okay. Thank you guys for having me again. And CTE has really opened up my options. And before, I didn't really know what I was wanting to do. And so I explored last year. I was in multiple CTE classes. And the classes that I took was ag science, natural resources, and business. I've taken 2 business classes, and I was really leaning towards business, but natural resources kind of took me away with the hands-on work. I really love being outside, and I'm an outdoors kind of person. I like these classes because then again, you are doing hands-on work, and it does really give you a look into the future of what you want to do and how real world stuff works. My favorite part is definitely being outside a lot. You're not cooped up in a classroom, and you're more or less just outside with people in the community helping out. Tomorrow I'm in natural resources, so tomorrow I get to go to a field trip to the wetlands, and we're going to do water testing and look for macroinvertebrates, which are insects that help clean the water. They've affected my future by allowing me to see like what careers that I want to take, and the ag science has really led me towards going to a trade school to get to work and stuff like that. But natural resources, it's outside, and I really like the outdoors. So, you know, I've been thinking about going outdoors and stuff like that. With natural resources, you really get to look at what your work is. Like when we're cross-cutting, it's, you know, teamwork. So you get to cut a log as fast as you can. And so you're looking at how fast and how well you're doing, and if you're being safe and if you have a good technique. In ag science, you learn a lot about agriculture. So I learned a lot about how farms affect like water quality and air pollution. And then for business, I learned that business isn't all just computers and stuff. You need to go out into the community and actually talk to people and spread your business. So that's about all I got for CTE classes. So thank you guys again.
We're so grateful that Garrett and Maddie were here today. So wonderful to allow you to see such shining examples of students who are doing great. And we thank Prineville for their support of CTE. We believe this is an important course of study for our Cook County students. And we just want you to know that the students that are graduating from our high school that have taken CTE, the percentage of students that graduate that are in CTE is very, very high, above 90%. So we're grateful to have these programs here. We're excited that our students get to do some exploration for the future. And we thank you for your support of CTE in Cook County High School and Cook County Middle School.
Thank you all for presenting. It's so awesome to hear these kids get to grow up in these classes. I would have loved to have had this amount of opportunity when I was in high school in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. But I'm so glad that we have it now. Thank you all for the vision that you've had. And I know, coming from me personally, I'll do everything I can to help you out. And I'd like to hand it over to any other council members if they have any comments or would like to say anything.
Yeah, Dr. Johnson, Michelle, Ryan, your staff, everybody. I've been away for a long time. I never thought I would hear the words that Ryan said. Robotics, that's what Kirk County is known for. I guess in my long time away, I think there's so many things in the Prineville community that have drastically improved, but I'm not sure there is one more than the Kirk County School District, at least in my eyes. So thank you for everything you guys do to make the council, the city, the county have a school district that we can be proud of. So thank you.
Thank you. It's a privilege.
Great. That's awesome.
This is Steve Uffelman. I would concur with Ray's comments about the school district and the positive impact it has had on our community. We are all proud of you. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Uffelman.
This is Counselor Merritt, and I think your program is great, and to serve so many students is a wonderful thing. Did you say 90% of your students take a CT class?
Michelle, you want to answer that?
We're at about 93% right now of our students take some type of CTE class. Statistics show that the graduation rate for CTE students is about 10% higher than an average high school student that doesn't take any CTE. And so we've really taken stock in that, of giving lots of opportunities for our kids to find some path that interests them.
So that small portion that doesn't take it, is that because they can't get it in their schedule?
So I would say that our only students that currently don't end up in CTE are some of our students that are choosing just to take more of the AP courses and not focus on taking some of those electives, though they could take those, but they're choosing to take more math, take more science. And then we do have some students that focus more in on the arts. So if they're taking, music, choir, band is their focus for electives sometimes, but it's a hard sell because we actually have it as part of our graduation requirements. So very rarely are you able to get through without taking some sort of CTE, just not a whole program necessarily.
Well, so many good things to choose from. Exciting classes.
Right, any other counselors? All right, I'm sure if Councilor Papke was here, he would have a lot to say and would agree with this. So, Dr. Johnson, Ryan, Michelle, Ms. Woodward, Mr. Cobb, thank you very much for presenting to this, and I love the updates. Being in one of those fields myself, I'm so happy to see this in our school district. And thank you again for the vision that you have for Prineville and Kirk County. And best of luck to you two students. And hopefully you find a career that you love. And I really don't want to see you leave the county, but I guess if you go find something out of our county, good luck to you. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You again.
All right, well, we'll move on. Council business, I don't believe we have any. Staff reports and requests, the manager's report, Mr. Forrester.
Thank you, Mayor Beebe. We'll start out tonight with advising the council that I had an opportunity to present a city update to the local Rotary group via Zoom this past week, February 2nd. And I just wanted to make note of that as just an effort to stay connected to our local service groups. And the presentation went very well, and I had a lot of good feedback after it concluded. So I just think it's important that we reach out to our service groups. Typically, prior to COVID, we were in front of them and giving updates. I know Eric Klon has done a lot, Kelly Caulfield, Zach, Matt, we've all took our turns keeping our service groups informed. So we just need to make sure that we're willing to get out there on Zoom and make that effort with these mitigating circumstances. The other thing, moving into the next item, with February being Black History Month, we thought it fitting that our community partners at Facebook have agreed to fund an internship program in cooperation with Central Oregon Black Leaders Assembly, COBLA, and the Prineville Chamber of Commerce, targeting internships in Prineville, Crook County. Our local businesses will be able to train interns to gain hands-on experience to benefit their future, and our local businesses will benefit from the interns' contribution to their businesses at no cost. And that is due to Facebook willing to pay the interns a wage for their time and efforts, and that wage is reported to be $12 an hour. I spoke with Kim Daniels this afternoon. She's got some willing participants. And if you recall, Council, Ricardo Waits, that we've worked with on our JEDI committee, and he's been in dialogue with the city now for quite a few months. he is a leader of COBLA, and he really wanted to target Prineville for some internship opportunities. So I think this is going to be a great start for COBLA and young people that want to take an opportunity here in Prineville with an internship. So some very good news. Also, be advised that Eric Klon, city engineer, and I had the opportunity to meet with Representative Vicki Iverson's chief of staff, a gentleman by the name of Greg Addington. And Mr. Addington is really a high-powered facilitator based out of Klamath Falls. He's done a lot of work down there with the Klamath water issues. He's very knowledgeable about natural resource issues in Oregon and the politics that go along with them. So we had the opportunity again, Eric and I, the Orchard Irrigation District Manager Bruce Scanlon, to go over some water-related legislation that's been proposed in Salem and how that could affect our irrigation water and water rights associated with water usage in the Central Oregon region, including the Crooked River Basin, where Prineville and Crook County are at. It was a very good conversation. We learned a lot. I think he learned a lot about some of our efforts. In addition, we had the opportunity to discuss proposed legislation regarding renewable energy development in Oregon. This is a relatively new phenomenon this session in Salem, and targeting the development of renewable generation facilities for resiliency as it relates to the Cascadia potential event and limitations on capacity that we've all talked about in the past. So we feel it's a really opportune time for the city of Prineville to highlight our biomass work and leveraging our biomass operational impacts as it relates to forest health, water quality, air quality, reduced wildfire risks and mitigation. And we will continue to monitor and participate in the lawmaking process as it relates to renewable energies, especially as it relates to our biomass project. So it was a very, very helpful, a very good meeting. And just real quickly, I'll ask Eric Klon, city engineer, if you'd like to add anything to that. Eric, do you have anything to add?
You know, I think that biomass is a very unique opportunity. That's a tough nut to crack, but there's a lot of stars starting to align there, and that could just be monumental for our community. We could be the leaders in forest health. We can get people back to work, just so many opportunities. And I think that because of council support on this project, 3 or 4 years ago, we may be positioned to make something happen. So I'm definitely not holding my breath, but I'm very excited about this.
Well said, Eric. Thank you. We have some updates. Zach Lambert at our Meadow Lakes operation wanted to advise the council that we did conclude a lease extension with Ron's Comfort Foods. So we got that behind us. Gave him some certainty and some flexibility built in as we work our way out of the COVID issues. So we're glad to get that one behind us. Also, Chief Dale Cummins and IT manager / project manager for the new PD building, James Wilson. We've been working on how we're going to roll out to the public our new facility up there for police department 911 dispatch operations. And so we're working on putting together a virtual tour that we can share with the public. Obviously, as soon as it's practical, we'll have actual physical opportunities, have physical tours up there where we can get people in there and they can see and touch and walk through the facility itself. But in the meantime, we think there's an opportunity to share virtually the progress and the completion of our new PD 911 dispatch center. So all positive stuff. And at this time, I'd like to ask City Attorney Jared Reed to give the council an update on Resolution 1474 as it relates to its passage this last week and our continued efforts to work with the court system and what happened in Josephine County. So with that, Jared, would you take over, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Forrester. Jared Reed, City Attorney. To update the council on resolution 1474, you all remember that you asked that I file a petition for judicial examination with the circuit court. That was filed on the Friday of that week. We did get a hearing scheduled with the court a little quicker than I had anticipated, which is nice. And that is March 25th is when our hearing date has been scheduled. The first publication for the summons or notice and summons was published today in the Central Oregonian. That'll run the next 3 weeks. Anybody wishing to file an answer in opposition to the petition can do so up to 10 days after the last publication. And so that's the update in regards to the local case. In regards to Josephine County, you all remember that I had mentioned that they were set for their hearing on February 1st. That hearing did not actually take place as anticipated. It was bumped out to February 25th. The attorney for Josephine County had filed a motion for default based on the notice and summons and no one filing a response. And because the judge had not signed that, particular attorney was of the impression that that's what they would be hearing that day rather than the entire petition itself. So there was a little miscommunication between court and litigants, and that's why it was set over to the 25th of February. And that would be my update for council, and I'm happy to answer any questions if there are some.
Thank you, Jared. And I didn't ask council, does anybody have any questions on any other portions of the manager's report?
I did. Steve, you had commented that there would be an opportunity for the council to tour the new police facility at some point, and we have not heard that there was an opportunity. Is there going to be? Will there be? And approximately when?
Yes, there will be, and there's just a few things we need to tidy up there with some people up there finishing up some last minute things, and we wanted to get some of the wiring put together so that wasn't hazardous. So yeah, we still intend, James, please jump in here, but we still intend to have some council tours in the next couple weeks. Is that correct, James? Did I get that right?
Yep. Yeah, we're just finishing out some closeout items with the contractor still. We haven't taken possession of the building back from the construction company. We're targeting the last week of February at this point.
Yep. Did I answer your question, Mr. Uppelman?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions from council regarding my manager's report or Jared's update? Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Forrester. We'll move on to committee reports. Do any of the councilors have any committee reports? All right. I had met last week with COCO, again, our Central Oregon Cities organization. It's called the Z-Tel now, Zoom Tel. We met with some of our regional legislators, and there's still just a couple things that Doug Riggs is working on are the prevailing wage in enterprise zones. There's still a push to get that through the hearings, and this would affect us in our enterprise zones, and it's another one of the statewide one-size-fits-all, and we're trying to fight that to keep it back on a local level of how we do that. So other than that was kind of the big focus. It was a short meeting, but there is a list of bills that they're looking at. If anybody's interested, I could forward that to you.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, can I add another announcement that I missed, and I apologize to the council, but one of the reminders is that the detail that Mayor Beebe is referencing, the next one is this Thursday morning at 7:15. Lisa will have the information out how to zoom in. So just remember, that's a great way to get updated on what's happening in Salem. So.
And they're they work on a lot of things.
Yep.
I mean, they're pretty busy, so. All right, well, thank you. I don't have any more committee reports. Are there any others?
This is Counselor Merritt, and I did attend a COIC meeting, but there were so many new board members, it was mainly getting acquainted. But the Cascade East Transit is going to help people, especially Deschutes County, get to the fairgrounds so they can get their vaccine. And you were talking about legislative updates, and I attended Oregon Fairs Board meeting last week, and we had a legislative update. And it's really important for the fairgrounds to keep their lottery funding. So that's what we're working on now. We need that lottery funding to keep our fairgrounds going. Just today in the Grizzly Mountain, the Kirk County Health Department had a vaccination clinic. Law enforcement was using Kerry Foster Hall for a training. Our pavilion tent is now a basketball court, so the athletes can play outside and be safe with COVID. And many of the fairgrounds house people during the fires. We just need to keep our fairgrounds going. So I'm sure they may be asking you for a letter of support at some point in time.
Jason, there are a couple of committee reports that I neglected to report on. Community Renewable Energy Association met. There was nothing exciting to share about that. The Governor's Regional Equity and Recovery Council met, and they're just looking at policies, overview of policies and review ideas for survey of community board. And then lastly, the legislative, League of Oregon Cities Legislative Committee on Energy. And the particular issue that we brought up had to do with a piece of legislation that was presented on 2613, I believe. Vicki Reese Iverson, her legislation bill that came up. So that's all the reports that I have.
Thank you. Are there any other reports?
I do have one for neighbor impact. Our board meeting meets this next Thursday, but I'm also on the finance committee. And one of the things they're saying is that they have received, or they are receiving funds from federal and state for housing assistance, for utility assistance. So if you know of anyone in Prineville that needs help, please have them call Neighbor Impact, because there are funds there, and many times we can be kind of overlooked because the access is not quite as good here. So please get the word out. Let people know that there is help out there.
Thank you very much for that. Any other reports? All right, hearing none, we have no ordinances, no resolutions. Looks like we're at the end of the meeting. Does anybody have anything? All right, hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
This is Counselor Law. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
This is Counselor Hutchison. I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any discussion before we have a vote? All right, hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, passes. We're adjourned. Thank you all.